Welcome, everyone, to Word of God Presents Gratitude Unfiltered, the Testimonies. Welcome, my man. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Please introduce yourself to everyone.
My name's David Sharp. I graduated from Lexington and have, for the last probably...
Lexington, Oklahoma, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a little town that if you're not familiar with Oklahoma's penal system, you don't have a clue it's there. But if you are, they're like, wait, why are you from Lexington? Then I've got to clarify. No. I graduated high school there. I haven't actually been a resident out there.
Which would mean that you're living in prison.
Right. But yeah, the last, I don't know, probably 5-6 years I've lived everywhere and nowhere, if you know what I mean.
Let me ask you something. Because, I mean, like, we've talked almost, I mean, ever since I've been here, like, you're one of the people I've talked to probably more than anybody. And there's this quiet power about you, and I know a little bit about your vision and what you want to do. I don't want you to share your vision with people. But I do know that anyone who has the passion for other people and a genuine heart for God and others that you have, it's born out of something. Like, I don't just think people wake up and have the level of compassion and love that you have for other people. I think that, you experience something, and we all experience something in life. But for you, the one thing I've never known is why do you have this love and care for other people? I know it's a human nature thing to, like, we were supposed to love and care for other people, but there's other levels of, I don't know if it's empathy or what, but there's like an extra level of compassion in your heart, and I've never really understood it.
It's kind of hard to pinpoint any one thing on that subject, really, because I guess part of it is I know what it's like to lack that. I love my mom. My mom is now my rock. I mean, she is everything to me. Somebody mentioned earlier not getting to make a phone call for the first 30 days is one of the biggest reasons I didn't want to come here, because I knew I wasn't going to get to talk to my mom for a month. But as I grew up, she was always working. She was a single mother. So I never got that with her very much. So I always had to take care of my little sister, and it's just something I've always done, is I've always taken care of other people. Mm-hmm. It's probably one of the things that my ex-wife loved and hated about me the most. I was always willing when I come home, I was real bad about not doing things around the house because I was exhausted. But anytime somebody called me to do something, drop of a dime, I'm there to help somebody. She would always, why will you go help them but you won't help me? And that was something that actually, it's a blessing and a curse at times, because I don't mind helping people. I've literally given people the shirt off my back because I knew they needed it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, people mistake your kindness for weakness and take advantage of that, and it can cause, like I said, it can cause rifts in a marriage. So it's just who I've always been. I can't necessarily pinpoint any one time that made that come about. I've just always seeing somebody smile because you're able to help them with something. Yeah. Feeling true gratitude. It's a feeling that you can't duplicate. And if you've never experienced it, it can't be explained to you.
No, I completely relate to that. And all of the testimonies we've heard, there's like pieces out of it that I'm going, that's my life. Not all of it, but there's pieces. And it's amazing. And everyone that is a part of this ministry, we all come from some different place from around the world, or in the United States or Oklahoma or whatever. And yet it's like I can just relate to it. It's amazing to me. Hearing you talk about that hits me square in the heart too, because I wouldn't take care of the people that were closest to me are the ones I neglected the most, but I would go out and help anybody do anything that I could, and I don't know if that was part of my mask that I wore or what, but I completely relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, the thing about that, I think, is one of the reasons that we neglect the people that are closest to us is because we think they're always going to forgive us. And me and my ex-wife have talked about that multiple times. I would cut her so deeply with my tongue that I was vicious when it came to, I'm going to hurt you and make you shut up before you can hurt me.
Where'd that come from? Where did that start? What was the earliest memory you have of, I'm going to hurt you so you don't hurt me?
Probably school. When I was very young, I got made fun of in school.
For what?
Just kids being kids.
Kids are freaking mean.
Yeah, they were mean. And I learned that if I can hurt you before you can hurt me, whether it be verbally or physically, you're not going to be able to say what you want to me, so I win. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time I win, I lose a little bit of myself because it becomes easier. My mind becomes faster. I'm just that much more of a faster trigger man for the devil because it's easy. It keeps me from being vulnerable. And that's when I started picking it up. And then because of my lifestyle choices.
Which were?
At the age of 19, I started hanging out with a bunch of swingers. I got married my oldest daughter's 11. I got married at 21, 22 years old. When me and my ex-wife met, I was actually still a part of that lifestyle. And she gave in to that lifestyle because I just carried it over and I was cheating on her. And she figured, you know what, if you're going to do it, let's do it together. Well, because of those lifestyle choices and the thoughts and the doubts and everything running through my head, I resorted back to what I knew. If you're going to say something to hurt me and I've already got a doubt there, I'm going to hurt you before you ever get that chance. I started drinking at the age of 16 and was pretty much a raging alcoholic until I started using meth about 6 years ago. I mean, when me and my ex-wife got together, she told me, she's like, man, you drink too much. This is after years of us being married. I said, you met me at a bar. You knew I drank. Out of respect for you, I've slowed down. There would be times I'd quit for a month just to prove to her I could, but I'd go right back. For, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I would drink for anywhere from 6 to 30 a night. I mean, wintertime I'd drink whiskey. I mean, it was one or the other. Because of that, and because of the way I internalized a lot of things, I guess, I would have severe bouts of rage. I never put my hands on her. I never put my hands on my daughters. I try not to let things escalate to a physical situation if I can keep from it, because I hurt people fast. But that was something they never had to fear. But at the same time, my ex-wife knew that if I flew off into a rage, that I was going to hurt her emotionally and mentally. So that's something that she had to worry about at pretty much at all times. And the meth just made it worse. I found out, it was either right before I come here or right after I got here. Like I said, I never put my hands on any women in my life. But my rage was so bad that I gave my oldest daughter borderline PTSD. I didn't know about it, and like I said, until either right before I came here or right after I got here. She was at school one day, and somebody started screaming. That quick, she snapped back to one of my fits of rage and had a meltdown. So bad that my ex-wife had to leave school where she was teaching and go pick my daughter up and take her home. I know there's people out here that are going to think I'm lying about it. None of it was physical. It was all mental.
The mental is just as bad as the physical.
Yeah. You're exactly
I mean,
right.
science has proved that. I'm not giving an opinion right now. It's
Right. And I agree. And it's something I wish I'd have never done. I mean, by any means. I've got two absolutely amazing, beautiful, smart. I guarantee my 11-year-old is probably smarter than I am right now. They're intelligent young ladies. They're young women, or really anymore. But you know, that's who I used to be. The thing about it, especially the thing that I love about my life here recently, is I can see the power of God. Like I just told you, she had borderline PTSD because of me. Every time I call and the phone gets answered, she loves talking to me. She's telling me she loves me, she misses me. I was giving her a hard time. She's 11. She's busy even when she's not in school. And I was like, hey, I'm going to put you a letter in the mail. You got all this free time. You could write me back. She goes, yeah, Dad, I could probably do that. And that phone call, what made probably the biggest impact on me seeing the power of God is I mouthed off the same thing to my youngest, who's 6. She doesn't remember near as much, but she has memories that she doesn't know about. And when the first few times they came up here to see me, they were kind of standoffish, which I expected. But when I mouthed off to her the other day, Saturday, as a matter of fact, she's like, you know what, you need to talk to Mom again for a minute. I got an idea. I was like, well, no, we don't have to get off the phone. What's your idea? Come on, talk to me. She's like, no, here, talk to Mom. And I hear her whispering in the background, I need paper. She's like, my ex-wife said, why do you need paper? I've got to write a letter. So she got off the phone so she could write me a letter because she knew it's something that would make me happy.
That's cool.
The last time I got to see him, I only got to see him for a few seconds. It was freezing cold outside. Rules here, we can't go out to the vehicles. Both of them willingly got out of the car. I never said a word to them. Both of them come up and gave me a hug. If that's not the power of God, I don't know what is. Man, this place, it's life-changing. It's life-saving. I can't put into words how much of an impact this is truly having on me. I get to get my daughters back, man. They were scared of me. I'll give you another example of the power of God. My little sister. Me and her, growing up, we fought like cats and dogs. Me being the older brother, I can say something to her. I can pick on her. But if you pick on my little sister, I'm gonna hurt you. And she is hands down my toughest critic. I mean, and she don't mince words. She's like, you're screwing up. You're screwing up. You need to do something. Mm-hmm. And I've been up here, man, she come up and saw me last month. So I'd have been here about 8.5 months when she came up and saw me. And I think that's finally when she realized that I'm changing. Me and her sat and had a conversation. Usually if we have a conflict of interest, when I was drinking or when I was doing drugs, it escalated to screaming, yelling, well, you can just leave. I ain't talking to you for a while, whatever. We had kind of a difference of opinion on some stuff. And we sat and discussed it. No one got angry. We were laughing by the time she left. She calls my mother. And my mom told me about this later on. She said, this is the first time in a lot of years that I feel like I really have my brother back. It's probably the most amazing thing, though, is, everybody talks about forgiveness, about God forgiving. To be truly forgiven, we have to forgive. I've held resentment in my heart the majority of my life toward my father. I was able to finally let all that go from being here. And by God showing me how to forgive being here, I was able to minister to my mother about unforgiveness.
Wow.
This place, it's not a rehab, man. It's to me, I probably need to do a little more research to figure it out. But I don't think discipleship ministry even has enough emphasis for what they do here. They're not fixing addicts. They're helping God. They're a willing vessel for God to be able to, for him to create mighty men of
women.
God and women of God. I've learned so much since I've been here. I mean, I started, when I was in high school, I was in a spirit-filled church. Started going for the wrong reasons, but like it says in the Word, God will turn every attack of the enemy for his glory.
Yeah.
I started going for the wrong reasons, but it got turned around to that I was working for him. Allowed by anger and pride for me to be pulled out of the church. I get here, and like you said, most people, when they show up here, they're like, wow, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. What is going on?
Why are those people worshiping in the front?
Yeah, why is he laying on the floor, you know? I think I may be in the wrong place here. I walk in to a Holy Ghost class on Monday night, and I'm like, man, this brings back memories. This is cool. I like this. And it was right then when God spoke to me. He said, see, boy, I told you I was taking you to the right place.
Oh, man.
Because I did, like I said, man, I did everything I could not to come here.
Yeah.
When I finally broke down and gave in, I told my mom, fine, I will do this to appease you, but keep calling this one and this one and this one to make sure I have a bed open when I'm ready to leave. My mom, for probably 2 weeks, I've been praying about this. This is where you need to go, son. I promise you, God's been talking to me. This is where you need to go. I was like, I ain't gonna be able to talk to you. I can't even write you a letter for a month. No, this is not happening. I can go over here. I can still smoke my cigarettes. I can still do whatever. And it worked out to where this was the only place that had a bed open at the time. And I was like, my daughters are my most important thing in my life. And that was what initially started these talks. Is she said, I talked to your ex-wife. If you want to see your daughters again, you have to go to a rehab. Because, man, at that time, I was putting an 8-ball of methamphetamine in my arm every day.
Ooh.
Every day. Still got a couple of scars. Yeah.
An 8-ball.
Yeah.
And you weighed like, what, 160 pounds when you came in here?
No, I weighed, well, when I got arrested in May, I weighed less than 230.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. There's been a few people that came in here weighing 160 pounds and now not so much.
Yeah, well, I weigh like 290 now.
All of you guys.
Yeah, I put on.
We need a fundraise for a gym for this place.
Well, you know what's funny? Funny you mentioned that. You know, I think sometimes God talks to us about. God will really talk to you about anything. And he actually talked to me about my weight the other day. He's like, hey man, you need to get in a little better shape. You need to cut a few pounds off. You've done it before. It wasn't a couple months ago. I dropped 20 pounds.
When we did the fast, right? Yeah.
I've put most of that back on. He's like, you know, you need to start showing you're serious about your life, your health, and the work that you have to do for me. So, yeah, it's amazing how once you start listening, it's amazing how much he talks to you.
How would you recommend? A lot of people don't know the voice of God yet, or maybe they haven't had that encounter yet. How do you, when you want to, like, God is always with us, God is inside of us, but when you want to feel that the presence of God, what do you do?
I surrender. It sounds so simple, but it's so hard. You've got to completely give everything to him. You've got to surrender to his presence, to put all those things out of your mind, everything of the world. This is going to sound crazy. When I came here, my daughters were the most important thing in my life. And I realized I had that wrong. So now, when I'm truly digging, truly trying to hear from God, I've got to put my daughters out of my mind. I've got to put playing pool out of my mind. I've got to put absolutely everything out of my mind that involves the world and focus on him and surrender myself to him for him to talk to me.
That's so powerful, man. There's so many, I mean, there's a lot of big, gnarly, the people that are part of this program have been through it. It's the only way to put it. And there's a lot of you watching right now that have been through it also, and you've said, I'm too screwed up for God. I'm too messed up. I'm too far gone.
That's a lie from the pits of hell.
I beg to differ.
You're never too far gone for God.
No. And that's, if I've seen, I know it from true to my own life. I've got my story, but getting to hear all of your stories and getting to know the men and women of this program over almost a year now, it has just burned that deeper and deeper and deeper into my heart and soul. Because look, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to go off the rails again, and I won't. But the good news is that even in my mess ups, I know God can use it if I surrender it to him.
Right.
And I love what you said about surrender, because ultimately anything that we'll surrender to God, he'll use.
Amen.
Do you have anything that you want to say before we're done?
Actually, yeah. We've heard, if y'all keep up with us very much, since everything's happened, we've all heard about how we're not able to fundraise or anything like that. I'm not the type of person that I usually like asking for any kind of help whatsoever. I like to make my own way. We can't, though. We're out of options. We don't have any. We're doing all we can do right now, coming up with any kind of idea we can to keep this place going. I've seen what it's done in my life. You've heard several testimonies about what it's done for other people's lives. I know that I have a good foundation started, and if worse comes to worse, I'll be okay. But I feel like this is where I need to be for now, and I don't want to lose this place because we don't have the funds, And I'm not even necessarily worried about myself right now because, like I said, I've got that foundation started because of this place. What I'm really worried about is the brother behind me, the one that's waiting to come in when this is all said and done. If we can't keep this place open, there's going to be so many lives that are lost. It just tears my heart so much knowing that we can do so much, but at the same time we can't. Like Pastor said several times, pray about it. And if you're felt led to, do what you can. Not for me, not for the brothers here, but for the brothers that are still out there struggling, for the sisters that are still out there struggling, that need that little bit of hope that they think is gone. Because I've come to realize this place is a ray of hope in a hopeless world. And we need y'all's help. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, man. Appreciate you. All right, everyone that's watching this live, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I would, again, appreciate if you share this out to people. Again, this is just the live behind-the-scenes view of what we're going to put out, but you heard the message. I would, we're live. I would, it's impossible for you not to hear these stories, all 10 of them. It's impossible for you not to hear them and not be able to relate. You either lived it, someone close to you lived it, you experienced it as a child. I'm not a salesman, and neither are these guys. Well, probably some of them are drug dealers, former drug dealers. This place matters. It matters. There's a lot of organizations that matter all over the world. But this one matters to me. It matters to these men. This ministry is having a profound impact. This ministry has saved my life. I mean, I gave my life to Christ years before I even came here. But that's not to say that I wasn't this close to jumping back in my grave. Everything I've learned here, and even though I'm not working this My Brother's Keeper program, in a way I have. I've been a part of it from a different perspective than what they do every day. But this program has saved my life. This ministry, Word of God Church, My Brother's Keeper, it saved my life. And those of you who watch Gratitude Unfiltered, and you've watched it for the last 2 years, I've seen the comments. I know you know that it's changed my life. I don't even need to say those words. You've seen it. I've seen your comments. This ministry matters. And even though I believe with all my heart that My Brother's Keeper would benefit the world, there needs to be a My Brother's Keeper in London and Miami and New York and Dallas and Boston and Las Vegas and Los Angeles and San Diego and San Francisco and Tokyo, Japan, Sydney, Australia, Moscow, Russia, Paris, France. There needs to be My Brother's Keepers all over the world, because there's stories like you've just heard, and those of you watching right now, you're watching from all over the world. You've heard their stories. Has it hit your heart? Can you give anything? Listen, those of you watching online, and I'm going to cut this out, and it's not going to be broadcast, but tag someone you know that would benefit from this ministry. Tag somebody, share this out. If you are somebody that can give $1 or $5 or anything, put me in the comments, and I will privately send you the link. Dadgummit, I hate asking for money. I hate it. I hate it. I hate hearing pastors talk about tithing, and I don't like it, because I know it's a principle and it matters. The giving and sowing into ground, sowing into places that, sowing where you want to go, sowing into something that aligns with your vision. How does this not align with your vision? If you know somebody that has suffered with addiction, that's put needles in their arm, that's been molested, that's been an abuser, that's been in prison, that battled disease, battled their sexuality, whatever it was, you know somebody, you heard their story. One of the 10 people, maybe all 10, was a story you could relate to. Good soil is sowing, giving into a place that you believe in the vision, and that's how you see your seed multiply. I'm not trying to use any biblical voodoo on anybody. I'm just saying these gentlemen and the women that you didn't see a part of this, I mean, the women aren't here right now, but the women that are a part of this ministry too, they need you. There's a lot of need all over the world, but I'm asking you, if this spoke to your heart, please give something. Pray about it. Ask God, God, should I give? What should I give? This is 100% tax refundable. It's good soil. Please give. God bless you. Thank you.